Welcome back to the Daily Taoist with Will S. It is August 6, 2021, Friday, and I am here to talk to you about the Tao Te Ching. As always, listen on your favorite podcast platform and check us out on YouTube. The Tao Te Ching was written around 2,500 years ago by a man named Lao-Tzu. It is one of the oldest texts in existence and certainly one of the wisest. Its wisdom is timeless, and its message is as relevant and important now as it was back then, if not more so. It is vital that we learn to come back into balance with the natural world, to live in a more harmonious and selfless way, and the Tao Te Ching beautifully instructs us in bringing ourselves and our lives in alignment with the Tao, also known as the Way. Verse 21. The greatest virtue you can have comes from following only the Tao. The Tao is elusive and intangible. All through formless and intangible, it gives rise to form. Although vague and elusive, it gives rise to shapes. Through dark and obscure, it is the spirit, the essence, the life breath of all things. Since the beginning of time, the Tao has always existed. It is beyond existing and non-existing. How do I know the way of things? I look inside myself and see. Lao-Tzu here offers more pointers to realizing the Tao. It is a tricky business. Try to understand it with words and ideas, and you'll fail. For it is elusive and beyond all such abstraction. Try to see it with your eyes, and you'll fail. For it's intangible and invisible. Yet, its existence can be demonstrated in much the same way as electricity, for all through invisible, its effects can readily be observed. The Tao is like the ocean upon which all currents, waves, and forms derive their existence. They rise from the ocean, exist only because of the ocean, and then dissolve back into the ocean. It is the substrata of which all form and the entire manifested universe is created. Lao-Tzu closes by telling us that although we cannot outwardly see this invisible force independently of its effects, we can know the truth by looking within ourselves. This is the only place truth can ever be found. Words can deceive, beliefs can be warped, and the human mind is ordinarily a repository for all kinds of gross half-truths and distortions. But beyond the mind, within, we can access the Tao, and from only there can we truly understand the way of things. Essay goes to compliments of Rory at the dailydaoblogspot.com. This one's a little tricky, especially when it says elusive and intangible, all through formless and intangible. It gives rise to form, all through vague and elusive. So, the way that I interpret this, and I guess all Tao can be interpreted individually, but your you're basically acknowledging something without acknowledging it. It just is, and it is not simultaneously. In physics, this is known as quantum state. We know through the double slit experiment, an electron can be a particle and a wave at the same time. So we also see this in nature, in the physical realm. Just Google double slit experiment electron, and you'll understand what I'm saying. It's very crucial that we also don't get too wrapped up in our own thoughts, because what are thoughts really? They are just chemical firings and interpretations of outward reality. And as we know, reality can be distorted by the human lens. Those are known as cognitive biases. So if you want to practice the Tao, the easiest way to practice the Tao is to don't practice. Doesn't really make sense, but the harder you try to accomplish something, the farther away from accomplishing it you become. For example, I was doing this to myself all summer. I've been trying to 10x my health, my wealth, my wisdom, right? And I look at wisdom as knowledge and understanding. And rather than just accepting my natural flow to my day and that sort of thing, I've been trying to force something that wasn't able to occur. It was only when I took a step back, I took some responsibilities off of my plate and got into more of a flow state of being, then things started to fall in place. And it's like a sine wave or a sine curve. It's going to go up to a peak, maximize, and then come down to a valley, and then go back up again. The point of life is not to get too bogged down in the peaks, like ride the peak, and don't stay too long in the valley. In physics, there's a term for a sine wave. The root mean squared, or the RMS, and that is the static equivalent, or the direct current, or the mathematical equivalent of that wave. If you can stay and ride the wave at root mean squared, or 707, you can withstand most anything in life. So that's all I really have to say on that, my friends. Ride the peaks and the valleys of life. Don't let the emotion ocean crash over you too hard this week. I will be trying to do a 21-day challenge, put out 21 verses in 21 days. Bear with me if I skip a day. As always, you can reach out to me at The Daily Taoist on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And we also have the YouTube channel. Please subscribe and check us out on www.thedailytaoist.com. I will be starting to write some essays there in preparation for an upcoming book I am writing. Stay tuned for that. Keep your stick on the ice Namaste, Will S.